You can see here all of the skin and that vellus hair that we're lifting off. Now, as you can see here, she has had a recent breakout, so we want to go pretty gently over the surface of that so that we don't cause any additional damage or inflammation. But this service is excellent for helping to remove any scarring or pigmentation that might have been caused by other breakouts in the past. Now, after you finish the majority of the upward motion, you'll want to kind of get down in the light and look at the surface of the skin and kind of make sure you've gotten everything. And then I like to come back in the opposite direction just to make sure we've gotten everything off. Again, stretching the skin, short strokes. You always want to make sure you go very carefully around the eyes. Never go upwards all the way toward the eye. You want to kind of stop at the top of the cheekbone. You want to wait until you can come under the eye in a sideways motion so you can get that nice tight stretch to the skin and get just as close to the underneath of the eye as possible, going very lightly so as not to cut or damage any of that super thin, delicate skin just around the eye area. Now, a lot of people, when they do the dermaplane, when it comes to the around the lip and the nose area, they'll ask the client to push their tongue up underneath. So go ahead and show us that, to give us kind of like this rounded edge. That gets really tiring for the client. So I like to just have my client relax and I do all the work for them. We'll start on one side here. We'll start on the top. Nice big stretch, and very gently we're going to come across. And you see there all of that nice, lovely, dead skin and hair that we're getting off. We're going to go the same way across the bottom. And follow that down along the curve of the chin. Go ahead and lift your chin for me. Trying to go up and over the curve of the chin can be very difficult. I find it's easier for myself personally to come around the edge like this, going left to right instead of up and down. Now when I get back to just underneath the chin to the neck area, then I'll continue with my up-down motion. Now we're going to go ahead and start on our second side. So again, we're asking our client to tip as far to the right as possible so we can start with neck and work our way up. .45-degree angle, skin stretched nice and tight. Now please remember, this is a very sharp blade. You do not need to apply a lot of pressure during your scrape. Very light pressure, not too heavy-handed. So we certainly don't want any nicks or cuts on our client. Now, since I'm right-handed, you'll remember on the other side, I went from the nose toward the outer corner of the eye. Can't do that on this side because I'm not left-handed, and I would have to do it like this, where most of the blade would be over the eye and the eyelashes. So I'm going to go right-handed, the same direction as before, except this time I'm going to go from the outer corner of the eye to the inner corner. Again, nice stretch, very, very gently along that delicate eye tissue, all the way up the side of the nose. Same thing with the lip area. I'm working from the outside to the middle this time instead of from the middle to the outer corner. The last thing I like to do is just underneath the eyebrow. I do not recommend doing this if you are not fairly well seasoned in dermaplaning. And we only go just very lightly just under the arch of the brow. We never do the actual eyelid itself. That tissue is the thinnest on the body and the most delicate. This just gives a nice little shape to the brow without waxing or tweezing. And just real quick, here is a view of some of what we took off the surface of the skin today. So you can see not only hair, but lots of dead surface cells as well.